My name is Miguel Myers. Welcome to My Horror Confessional. Today, we have returning guest Anthony JeromeM, crowd favorite.
Oh, thank you. I love the applause. Hello, hello, hello. It's fantastic to be here in the confessional. Like, you got new upholstery in here. It's a little bit bigger. Like this confessional, I like being in here.
Yeah. I moved the desk around, so there's more room for activities now.
You got a bowl of peanuts over there. Like, okay, I'm comfortable. I can confess a few sins.
Uh, awesome. Well, so today we're doing something a little bit different. Typically, we'll have a guest come on and talk about a classic horror movie, but today I wasn't feeling it, and neither was Anthony. We got together and we just started talking, and so we decided that we want to talk about the horror movies that we've been seeing this Halloween season, and so that's what we're doing. So fuck you, but I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, if you don't enjoy it, then fuck you.
Yeah, and what's funny was this was supposed to be a shorter fucking episode. And then we're almost at 2 hours. Me and Anthony are incapable of having a short conversation because when we get together, we just have a fucking blast talking. So
That's the curse. Like if we're like, hey, like let's make this a short one. Yeah, okay, fine. Like we'll stay on topic. Immediately start talking about like, hey, you remember like when I was 6 years old, I had the weirdest tuna sandwich, and like now I don't think I could ever eat tuna again. Like if we commit to having a short episode, it's like, oh, so nothing we want is gonna happen.
And it's like we're saying it to ourselves. It's like a dare. Oh really? Oh really? Really? Okay. It's because like when you know that you can't bring something up because of time, whatever, you're like, oh, but I want to bring it up anyway,
like that's all I
because
want to
if
talk
I
about.
don't bring it up, if I don't tell Anthony this one fucking thing, I'm gonna fucking explode. So anyway, we're a little bit amped up because we recorded this after the episode, so that's why we're a little bit amped up. But I hope you enjoy this episode where we're talking about the movies that we've been watching this Halloween season.
Have fun.
This is your first time back since my 70s confessional?
Yeah, it is. Is it?
Yeah. And now we're doing my 60s confessional.
Honestly, like there's that little not secret thing, but secretly there's a my 60s adoration that we have because Macario, uh, el esqueleto de la señora Morales, and this movie we both like Los Similares, so like which takes place in the 60s, but
Yeah.
like there's this 60s thing, we're vibing on the low, we're like, hey, have you seen this? Oh no, I haven't, thank you, I'll watch it now.
I love the 60s so much. I'm actually, so for those who don't know, Anthony Jerome M was my co-host on season 2 of my horror confessional, which we called my 70s confessional, and we had fucking so much fun. It's the most fun I'd had recording a podcast, and we did 10 movies, one movie a year, and we did it because Anthony hated the 70s, and you notice that past tense, hated,
Yeah,
even though he
yeah.
tries to get out of it. He hated the 70s, and so I wanted to show him some of the stuff that the 70s did, and we did that, and we just had so much fun. And then season 3 started, and it's been about 10 episodes, and I was like, hey, I got to get Anthony Jerome M back on. But before we did that, I wanted to talk to you about how your Halloween season has been going so far.
It's been interesting.
Uh-huh.
I've been watching, like you have, I've been watching a movie every day this month that I haven't seen before. Kind of fucked up, and I didn't tweet about it, but because now I don't really remember everything that I've seen. But it's been really interesting because I'm wondering, like, am I depressed or am I just burnt out on horror? Because so much of what I've seen, like, it hasn't been tickling me, and it's been really not messing with my head. But I'm like, am I being a hater right now, or and just what I'm watching is like, is it literally just not for me, or am I just not able to have fun with what I am seeing? And so I'm like thinking about that, but also I'm like, well, I watched Sissy on Shudder, and that was pretty good, and I like that. So like, I'm not totally broken. How about yourself?
I feel you. Like speaking of, first of all, Sissy, we did an episode on that. That's going to be coming on the Patreon this week,
Hell
this
yeah.
weekend. Just been busy, but um, I feel you on the hate, like hating or not, because like very specifically, there's Terrifier, which I fucking
Damn.
hate. I fucking hate, and everybody loves it, and I'm like, yes, let everybody like whatever they like.
Hmm.
But it's also like seeing your best friends talk to somebody that you fucking can't stand. That's what's going on. Like everybody I know was really fucking on point or uh on the board, on the ball, on the is on the bandwagon for Terrifier. And I'm like, am I fucking crazy? Like, so we I know you like Terrifier, and I
Hmm.
know the wonderful people at Podmortem also really like Terrifier. So that's cool. But I'm also seeing it like on the internet, like on Twitter and on
Hmm.
Instagram, and it's like, what am I missing? You know? And like I found one or two people on Instagram that like or TikTok that feel the way I do, and
Hmm.
it doesn't help that they're old heads. So I'm like,
Oh
don't do that. Aw, don't,
no, yeah,
I
no.
don't need
It's
that. I don't need that.
like, oh, you're stuck in your ways, Grandpa. I get
Yeah,
it.
probably. Well, yeah. Well, maybe we could talk about it on Patreon about Terrifier. So I don't want to get into it here, but yeah, I completely understand what you're saying about like this particular holiday season, which for me is Halloween,
Hmm.
because like in the past, watching horror movies one a day for 31 days has been so much fun, and the past couple of years it hasn't felt that way, and I don't know if I need to do something else.
Mm.
Maybe if I need to change it up a little bit, maybe go out because I used to do haunted houses. I used to decorate the house. Nowadays, like I can't get myself to decorate to um, get interested in decorating. Like I bought a shit ton of a neighbor was moving and had a shit ton of Halloween decorations, and
Hmm.
I bought a lot of them in for the reason to put them out there. And I did a really shitty job. Like I put one or two of them out there like 2 weeks ago, and they're all falling over. One of them's out of batteries, and it's going, which is creepy in and of itself. But like it's kind of depressing. Look at it. So I need to maybe. I'm already in therapy. I don't need to. I don't need. Don't tell me I need to go to therapy. I'm not you, but like, don't
I
say.
would not tell you that.
But yeah, so I feel you. Like I'm the same way. Like typically this holiday season makes me really happy, but
Hmm.
maybe it's since COVID. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Um, but we did have some fun. We are watching
Yeah.
some really fun movies. So I and what I've typically done in the past is watch horror movies that were like 60s, 70s, 80s movies that I missed. Like I'm all about new experiences. But I was talking to you and you watch all the new releases. And so we this year I was like, yeah, let's do new movies. So I did
Hmm.
within the last 5 years. And so I've seen some really good stuff and some okay stuff.
So do you know off the top of your head, like what are some that you did not like? We talked about Terrifier. Like, are there some that you like? No, I wasted my time watching that.
Well, so like Terrifier, I didn't watch this year. I watched it when it came out, and I didn't
Oh,
watch.
okay.
And I'm not interested in Terrifier 2, not
Hmm.
in the slightest. Are you interested? Are you gonna watch that?
I want to, yeah, I want to, but I'm not going to theaters. I know who Art the Clown is. I'm not leaving my house for that. Like, you can come to my house via my TV screen. I'm not leaving for that. Like, I'm not putting on fresh underwear to go watch whatever it is you're doing over there.
What so have you not been to the theaters since COVID?
The last time I went was for Scream. So that was what, Five Cream? That was this year?
Last year.
Oh, last year? Okay, yeah, that's the last time I went. And
Yeah.
before that, it was Avengers Endgame,
Did
which
you
was
used to go to the
2018.
theaters a lot before COVID or no?
Probably once a month.
Okay, I mean it's
But
fairly
this was,
regularly.
yeah, this was before like, um, well, because of COVID, when a movie comes out in theaters, very, very, very shortly after, it'll become available to rent on,
Hmm.
on streaming. So like, that has totally changed my desire to even go to the theater. I'm like, I can watch a movie here at home where the drinks aren't $10 for a like fucking thimble full of beer.
Yeah,
So,
I feel you. For me, like before I was going to therapy, going to so we have the Terror Tuesdays here at the
hmm
Alamo Draft House, and that was like my therapy. That was my time. So like it was important for me to go to there.
mm,
But since then, like yeah, I don't know. I don't feel unless it's like a huge movie, like you're saying, like Avengers Endgame, which I saw in the theaters as well. Like I saw that in IMAX. There's not a lot of movies that need to be seen in the theaters. Like I'm biased. Like Halloween should be seen in the theaters, like or Halloween Ends or whatever. We'll get to that, but yeah, whatever. So we saw Sissy and we talked about that. That really liked that
hmm
one a lot.
I do too.
Black Phone, meh.
It was mid. I had a little
Yeah,
fun. I
it was.
wasn't totally bored by it.
Yeah, it was fine. I just don't know
Mm,
why Ethan Hawke needed to be in it. He didn't. He brought nothing to it. Like he's not a.
mm.
I like Ethan Hawke as an actor, but I don't know. I don't know why he was in it. Barbarian.
I haven't
I
seen
saw
that
that
yet. What
one.
did you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think that's one you can definitely see at home.
Okay.
Yeah, that I think when you
Oh,
get
what day is it?
to the
Oh, I
20th.
was going to say on the 25th, it's on HBO. So, okay.
Really? Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I heard, yeah, I think you told me about that. It was fun. It was. Have you seen any trailers for it?
No, uh-uh.
Okay, good. Like I don't watch that. You were telling me about that one Megan trailer.
hmm
I haven't seen it. Is this people are excited for it? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go watch it, but I don't really watch a lot of trailers.
Yeah, neither do I because they spoil. We like this is probably a super old conversation, but they spoil too much. Honestly, one of the only times I'm really smart is when I see a trailer because then I could be like, oh, okay, so this point leads to this, this, and this, and I bet her secret father's gonna come out of nowhere and like I made her in the image of my daughter. Like when it comes to teasers and commercials, I can figure it out. But when I watch the movie, I'm like, so did that really happen or was that all in their heads? Like,
Yeah, which is the fun part about it. Yeah, I saw X. Nope, sorry. And I saw Pearl. Pearl was great.
oh,
I,
okay.
I definitely recommend. I think you're gonna really love it. I had like 3 days in a row where it wasn't very busy, so I was able to get into the theaters. So I saw 3 movies in a row.
Oh,
It
cool.
3 movies, 3 days in a row. So I saw Barbarian, Pearl, then I saw Smile.
Not one
Those
you
were
said you
good.
didn't care too much for, right?
Yeah, like Smile was okay. Like I don't understand. Um, I don't think anything crazy was done there. Like no new ground was put there with that movie, but like it was acted very well and the it was directed competently. I don't know.
It's a movie, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. Hocus Pocus 2.
Okay, same. Saw that too. I liked it. And
See, I
now,
wasn't a
hey,
big
you know
fan
what's
of Hocus
crazy?
Pocus. Yeah, go ahead.
Everybody, Miguel likes Hocus Pocus 2 more than the first one. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't grow up with the first one. I know. I know. We know. No, they know now. No, still
Um
crazy.
yeah, I don't know. It was alright. It was maybe I'm just not I don't know. I was maybe not picking the right movies. At this point, this is like the first week. So we're 6 movies in. I was like, that's all right. But then we saw like Last Night in Soho, and I really liked that one. That one was a lot of fun. Have you seen any of these yet? Have you seen Last Night in Soho?
Um, I have not, but I do kind of like Anya Taylor Joy. That's her name, right?
Yeah,
I really like her in The Witch. So like, I don't know. I something just hasn't like made me want to watch it.
yeah.
But I don't think I've heard bad things.
So when you see the trailer, you don't think it's horror, um, which I did. I think they did a bad job of like showing you what it actually was.
hmm
But it's a horror movie, and it was good.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Uh,
I thought it was like a detective movie for whatever reason.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it has like a crime thriller feel to it,
Okay,
but it's horror. Hellraiser, which we both really loved, I think, right?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. I did
Yeah.
enjoy it.
I was listening to somebody's review about it, and they were saying that one of the negative things was that it was sexless, and I was like, nah, I like that part of it. Like I know that for some people, like Hellraiser is about like BDSM and all this sort of stuff, but like I feel like we have as a society have gone so far since the first Hellraiser came out, where like the stuff that was super kinky then is like normalized now.
Right. You know,
It's
it's not about BDSM anymore. It's about furries, feet, and piss. Like
and eating ass. Everybody's eating ass now.
exactly.
So
Like BDSM, okay, you like to wear black. Okay,
yeah,
sure.
leather,
And get
nice.
hit a little.
But what I liked in this Hellraiser that they did, first of all, the new priest, she looks great. She did a great job, and like we see the other what are they called? The other,
Cenobites.
thank you, the other Cenobites. We see the other Cenobites, and it's like um, it's not just about sex. It's about like other types of joy, and that people get, not joy, maybe pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Pleasure is the better
Yeah.
word.
Mm-hmm.
Other types of pleasure, and so yeah, I really like that. And the fact that that was on Hulu, and what came out earlier on Hulu, Prey came out on Hulu, which
Pray fresh.
like Hulu, Fresh, which I haven't seen, but is on my list. So yeah, I think Hulu's fucking killing the game.
Right.
The day 9 was Gonjim Haunted Asylum, which you
Nice.
recommended on the day of. I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll watch this shit. Added to the list. It was good. It was good. Um, Found footage or YouTuber, yeah, like YouTuber found footage sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. How had you heard about that one?
I think it was just a random watch. I think I read the description that these people go to a haunted asylum, and I'm like, you know what? I'm down. Let's see what's up. And I
Yeah,
was pleasantly surprised because, like, not that I'm secretly a fan of found footage, but I'm not an open fan of found footage. So, like, when a found footage film movie gets my attention, I'm like, okay, you're doing something right here. I'm gonna, I'm buckled in. I want to see why you made me feel this way. And this movie was like, okay, like you had something special from the very beginning, like maybe a good concept, maybe a good like maybe the synopsis and description was good enough, but I was like, I'm gonna give you a chance, and it didn't make me regret that none of the way through.
yeah. And then day 10, I saw Speak No Evil on
Oof,
Shutter.
gosh, what did you
Yeah,
think?
it was like I heard somebody talking about it with Colors of the Dark. Have you, the Colors of the Dark podcast with Rebecca McKendry?
Yo, yeah.
She was talking about it as if it were more like a black comedy up until the very end, until the thing happens. It happens, and I was like, "Ugh, no, it's not
Nah,
a comedy." She was like, "It's hilarious." I'm like, "What the fuck?
no.
This is like red flags." Like, so in Barbarian, they talk about red flags. Well, this is also like red flag after red flag after red flag,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's kind of brutal, kind of
Yeah.
brutal. Yeah,
To me, there's so many instances like I would not stand for one of them. Like, don't ask me for a chair where clearly someone's belongings are. That's a part of my group. Don't ask me if you can have that chair because fuck you. Someone, it's for someone. But also, if you invite me to dinner and you play with words to make me pay, because like clearly you aren't paying, and I feel forced to ask like, oh, so am I paying? Oh yeah, thank you so much. Like, don't invite me out to dinner and like make me pay because fuck you. And then there's that thing that happens with the daughter, and not only that, the thing that happens with the daughter, but the mother of the other couple is like, oh, well, where were you? She was outside crying all night. Like, why couldn't you tend to her? Listen, your husband was on some shit. Don't you dare try to put this on me. Like, don't you dare. So, like, any one of those instances would have been enough to have me. There are a few instances in my head where I'm like, you know what? I'm totally fine with being the biggest asshole in the world in this situation. So,
mm.
like, the fact these people couldn't take their own daughter's safety or even comfort into much of a regard. I'm like, well, you know what? You kind of got what was coming to you.
Yeah. The funny thing is that it escalates, right? It's small things
Mm-hmm.
that don't seem in if they were by themselves wouldn't seem so big, but it's habitual line steppers. It just
Mm-hmm.
keeps getting worse and worse and escalating. Um, it, just causing a lot of dread the whole time. I had to, like, I have anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that much anxiety like when it comes to horror movies, like awkward situations, like in comedies and in life in general. Like I just had to pause or remove myself from the situation. Horror, not so much. This movie had so much social anxiety. It's basically social anxiety because yeah, so anyway, it caused me to pause it, and not out of like horror, like,
Damn.
or like being scared, just out of complete like social anxiety, you know.
Do you ever watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I've watched like the first couple of episodes, yeah.
Well, the main character, Larry David, he's totally he breaks these, like, okay, so you say you have social anxiety. He has the opposite of that. He's like, why do you expect me to play these social norms like everything's all cool and dandy when I don't feel like things are cool? Like, if some person came up to me and asked me to give them my niece's chair because she's not using it when her shit is clearly on the chair, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck's your problem? Don't you see it's accounted for? Like I'm gonna be that person who like makes it awkward for everybody who's there with me. Cause it's like, don't you fucking ask me that question. Like, you're fucking weird. I'm supposed to just like to keep the peace. I'm supposed to just let you have this chair. No, fuck you for asking. You should feel weird.
Was that a scene in the movie?
At the very beginning when they're at the pool.
Oh, right, right.
Hmm.
That started the whole fucking thing off. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Okay.
to me, that's the biggest red flag, is because this person is an habitual line stepper. But if you want me to put your comfort over the comfort of a child that I actually know, to me it's sinister, because like there's this person that I clearly know, they're a child, like they're a child that I've made room for, and you want me to just put that by the wayside so you can be comfortable, someone who I don't know. There's something weird here, and I don't appreciate you involving me in it. But that's just how I see
I,
it.
I, I agree. I agree. Then I saw Day Shift.
How'd you? Oh, yeah, you didn't tell me about that. What'd you think?
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun. It was cool. Jamie Foxx not the best actor, but Snoop Dogg was dope in that shit. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, we did talk about it. Yeah, we talked about it
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
He was great.
Yeah, it was
It's a
fun.
fun little popcorn movie.
Yeah, like that's one that if I had thrown on while I was working, I wouldn't have minded like not seeing everything, every single part of it. But like spin off with Snoop Dogg, I would love it.
Bring in the werewolves because I know they're there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact Snoop Dogg was not a werewolf, that makes no sense to me. That makes no. He's got that dog in him.
Yeah, there's got to be a part two. There's got to be or a spin-off. Then I think we talked about my best friend's exorcism already. I was all right. I was all right on
Not for
that.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
great music choice, but that's about it.
The other day, I just randomly like started singing. I think we're alone now, and then Hillary started singing, and we just started singing. Like that's such a fucking banger. Like
Yes.
it doesn't get the respect it deserves. Like I mean, I could. I don't know if people just got um had listened to it too much. I'm sure, yeah, I can do that. But like right now, I'm feeling it. That fucking song is dope.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs.
And then Terrified. Terrified
Yes. Mwah.
from 2017, same year as Terrifier. So good. Shit poster, but so good. I think so far from the list I'm saying, Terrified has been, oh no, Speak No Evil and Gonjiam and Hellraiser. Okay, I got some good movies, but I think it was one of my favorite. Terrified was definitely one of my favorites.
It's a fantastic movie. The first time I watched it, I was literally scared because I was just so creeped out. Like the things I saw, I was not expecting to see. The shower, the kid, that shower scene in the beginning with the woman. Like
Yeah, that was cool.
I was like, oh, and also because like this is one of the times I can inject some realism into it. Like when the cops come, they're not going to believe anything you tell them. So like you're fucked and you just witness this horrible thing. Like no one's going to believe you. So like I was like, you're scared if you're fucked if they do believe you, and you're fucked if they don't. Like you're not going to win.
Yeah, and there's some like really cool like I don't want to give away anything because it's this. You just go into this movie not having watched a trailer, just going blind.
Please.
It's so much fun. There's just so much surprising shit that happens and very creepy shit. And you know what's funny is the director of this was part of Satanic Hispanics, which is a movie that came out this year. I saw it at Fantastic Fest. I don't know if it's been officially released.
Mm-mm.
It came out this year, and it's an anthology film. With somebody else that was on it was like Gigi Salguero, which I love her. She did Bingo Hell, and she's done a couple other movies I can't think of right now. But she had a segment in here, but so did this guy. And I saw that before I saw Satanic Hispanics before I saw Terrified. And so I know without looking it up what segment this guy did.
Oh, cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
based on his style for Terrified. So, and then my day 14 was last Thursday, or yeah, last Thursday. It was Halloween Ends. You know, it's polarizing as it just seems like every Halloween movie is like polarizing now, and I don't really understand it. But I liked it. It was weird. It wasn't what we were expecting. You'd seen it as well. We had
Hmm.
a whole
Hmm.
after the
Yeah.
movie. I was like, "Yo, we need to talk," and you're like, "Yes." And so we jumped on, didn't record, just fucking jammed out for like over an hour. I think 2 hours, just talking about Halloween.
Hmm.
Halloween Ends, I should say. What did you think about it?
I told Miguel, don't talk to me until you can give me your opinion on Halloween Ends, because I don't fucking talk, because I had to send Miguel a little apology like, hey, I'm sorry for how they did your boy, because they did him, in my opinion, they did him kind of dirty. And I'm not even one of those people who talk about the runtime like, oh, he was only in the movie for a few minutes. That doesn't fucking matter. Um, it, I don't want to say that I disliked it, but I
See if
definitely
you
didn't like it
disliked
for what it was. No, I didn't, but I didn't though,
it. Okay.
because as like one of the things that I told Miguel, like what I incorrectly said, I would love to see this new trilogy again, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and then Halloween Ends. But what I really want to do is Halloween 78, 2018, Halloween Kills, and then Halloween Ends. I think it is, well, I need to watch them consecutively, but I think it is a perfect story. Like I think it all makes sense once it's all together. I think piece by piece it has its problems, but as a one cohesive story, I think to me it works just fine. I think it's perfect. The ending is what I would have wanted it to be, but it's fine. It's fine. It has its problems like Corey. Corey, who are you? Had you been introduced sooner? Yeah, sure. But like I don't care about you. Like you have great lips, fantastic lips. No one's gonna take that away from you. But like so
So I agree. Like, well, no, let me say it again. It's not that I disagree. It's just I have a different feeling for it. Where, and I'm talking specifically for Halloween Ends. I like that they tried something different. I everybody says like, um, everybody says that they're so formulaic, and then when somebody comes in and gives you something different, you're like, "Where I want slashy, slashy. I want Mike
yeah.
to be slashy," and it's like I've seen so many hot takes like, "Oh, he's such a bitch." Like they bitchified Michael Myers. It's like, first of all, I unfollowed you immediately, and second of all, like, grow the fuck up. Like, I don't know. It's fine. Like it was, it failed in some aspects. Like I think I told you, for me, I think it failed. Not having seen all four of them, like you were talking about, which I want to do, having not seen them all like back to back to back, I think right now
Hmm.
it fails as far as a trilogy, like the end of a trilogy
Hmm.
is concerned. But as an individual movie, I thought it was a lot of fun. I liked
Okay.
that they went for different things. I would have liked to see Laurie in it a little bit more, like Jamie Lee Curtis a little bit more, even
Hmm.
though she's like in it at the end. It seemed like almost like, oh shit, Um,
She's here too.
yo, like they actually got a fight now. It's weird.
Hmm.
And some people I talked to like online were like, oh, like, all right, I'm angry at some of the fucking memes like they where he's living in the sewer and shit like that, and, like with Pennywise and all that shit. Some of this is straight up disrespectful, but one of them is like the SNL skit Chris Farley. I live in a van down by the river.
Yeah.
People was like, I live in a pipe
Oh,
down by this sewer. I was like, okay, man, you got me, but
that's funny. Oh, okay. I had not. I have. I don't know. I haven't seen anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So, but I liked it. There's something different. I think a lot of problems with it still, but it was fun. It was fun, and you know
Yeah.
what? They're gonna fucking reboot it. I mean,
Right.
this
It's
isn't
coming
Halloween.
back.
This is probably the last time we saw Jamie Lee Curtis playing Laurie Strode,
Mm,
and it's fine. Like I love her for what she's done. It was the end of a 44-year journey, and it was great. It
yeah.
was great. And we still have the original. Like all the movies that you love are
Yeah.
still
They're
there.
still there.
They didn't erase them. It's fine. You're fine. It'll be okay. Except for Rob
Like,
Zombie. Fuck that guy. Just
and
kidding.
let's be real. Jamie Lee Curtis has that Activia money. She doesn't need to be making these movies anymore.
Right.
Like,
All right. So then after,
I did want to mention one thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. I want.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
They're
say.
like,
I'll be quick.
no.
Um,
Be effusive.
one of the things. One of the things that you said about you like how they experimented at the end. It's funny because when it comes to cooking, me and my brother have this like this thing that we say like on holidays and birthdays when it comes to cooking, we don't experiment. And it's crazy because like on holidays and birthdays we're like, "Oh, you know what? I think if I added this and this to the mac and cheese, it would be way better than we've ever had before." But like we both look at each other and like we don't experiment on holidays. And so to me, it's like I don't like experimenting in the last end of it. Like you could have experimented in the first one and then built something up. But however, that's just a personal preference because even then they still did something different. Like I said, I didn't hate it, I didn't dislike it. So it's like you didn't do as bad as you could have. So
Yeah.
but personally,
And,
would I have done it? No.
what would I wear that? No, but it looks good on you, boo.
Right. You're wearing that. I love that for you.
That's the one. I love that for you. Yeah, I agree. Like, there's a time for experimentation, and there's a time for not. And while they probably shouldn't have experimented, if this were a middle movie, kind of dope. Would
Oh
be
yeah.
dope.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously the end would have to change and all that. But yeah, I'm a Halloween Michael Myers stan, so I'm definitely biased. But when people were like, "Yo, it's the worst movie I've ever seen. It's the worst in the franchise." I'm like, have you seen Halloween 5? Have you seen Resurrection? Like, let's rein it in a little bit, people.
I'm like, this is
Uh,
the worst movie you ever seen? The worst?
yeah. Like,
Okay, sure.
have you seen Annabelle?
Oh, personally, yeah. But oh, you mean
Yeah.
Annabelle? Have you seen the Island of Dr. Moreau?
Oh, yeah. And then I saw The Dark and the Wicked.
How'd you think? What'd you think about that? It was okay. It was fine for me.
Yeah. It was a very quiet movie.
Mhm.
Does anything crazy happen? Now I'm struggling to remember. It was like they were taking care of their father on the farm. He was sick. The mother, something happens to the mother.
Oh, was that one?
Yeah.
Not with the gay couple?
Gay couple? No. No, no.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else then. But no, no, I know what movie you're talking about. I liked that movie when I first saw it.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah, it was
ending.
cool. Yeah. It was a good one. Obviously not memorable, but it was cool. I remember liking it. Like my overall is liking it. Next I saw We're All Going to the World's Fair. Have you seen that one?
I started it, but
Yeah, dude. Like, so after I saw it, I was like, "What the fuck did I just see?" Like, there's very small elements of horror in here, but this is for like that person who grew up. I was reading reviews on it, and somebody said like this is a perfect movie for the people who grew up with no friends except the ones that they made online, and that you never knew who those people actually were because you never really met them. And so like it was real. It's just a weird movie. Didn't like it. I'm gonna say I actively disliked this movie. I
Yeah, I didn't even finish it. I was like,
think
nah, I'm good.
I think you're not missing much. You're not missing out that much. Then we saw The Boy 2, which is Brahms The Boy 2,
Mhm.
which you haven't seen The Boys yet, have you? Like
Mm-mm.
the movie The Boy or
Nah, I don't think I'm going to.
no?
Nah, I'm
You're not
good.
into dolls,
Yeah,
killer dolls.
nah. I mean, we got Chucky, we got Annabelle, Megan's coming through next year. The boy, he's had all this time to make an appeal to me as a horror fan and just hasn't. So, like, I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah, I think The Boy has a cool little twist that you may or may not see coming. The Boy 2, they try to make it like superhero, almost like supernatural, and I don't think they did a good job on it. But then we saw Cult of Chucky.
Okay. You haven't seen it before?
No, I haven't seen it before.
Okay.
So we're because we were very slowly making our way through the Chucky series so that I can or the Chucky franchise so that I can watch the Chucky series on TV.
Okay.
And a friend of mine, Matt Thomas, has been on the show before. But he gave me the box set of the Chuckies because he had bought it somewhere else. He bought two copies on
God.
accident. So he gave it to me, and we were very slowly making our way through. And this was the last one, obviously. It was cool. It was all right. Like I'm interested to see where the series goes. Have you
Yeah.
seen? That's right. We talked about this. You haven't seen. You like sporadically jumped around the franchise, right?
I've seen the first one. Um, I've seen the first one. I have seen Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, and Cult of Chucky. And I'm almost finished with the first season of the TV show. But I've not seen the second one. And the third one, that's the military school one, right? That's my
Yeah.
favorite one. Yeah, so I've seen the
Part
third one,
two
but I
is really
haven't
good.
seen. Right, yeah, you've told me, but I just haven't seen it yet. But
That's my.
yeah,
I think that's my favorite because I cannot fucking. I can't stand Andy. And it's so funny that he comes back in the
it does.
franchise.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, so it's
It's cool
cool.
how the franchise. I'm sorry, not the franchise. The show. All of the movies are canon, which is something we don't see very often. Where like every entry means something. So I kind of really extra appreciate that this show is like, oh no, all those movies you went to the theaters to watch or that you saw, it's valid here. It's all a part of here, as opposed to fucking Halloween where resurrection doesn't mean a goddamn thing. H2O means nothing, and those are the best ones.
They mean something to us in our best ones. Did you say
What?
Resurrection was?
Mhm.
You say what? You say
No,
Resurrection was the best one?
I think you're hearing things.
Okay, okay, all right. But yeah, you're right. Like I like that there was one continuous timeline, and there's even one that is inadvertently or a surprise prequel sort of thing. Um,
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, which is really cool. And then we have then I watched Werewolf by Night.
What'd you think?
It was cool. I didn't realize it was like an hour. It was like very short. We
Mm-hmm.
saw it like Monday morning before work. Like, oh shit, it's only an hour. Let's fucking watch it. It's cool. I think Hillary really liked it, and this was fun. I'm making more of um, a choice to watch movies with Hillary so that we can watch movies together. And so a
Mm-hmm.
lot of these have been Hillary appropriate. Only a couple were not
That
Hillary appropriate.
that's been going into my recommendations. Like when I fully recommend something to you, it's like Hillary can watch it too.
And I appreciate that. So does she. What did you think about Werewolf by Night?
I love that this was a fucking big ol' glut, 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 glut to the Universal monster movies. Like totally a fantastic kiss nod below the waist kiss. It was, you know,
All right, Anthony. This is
but
getting
all,
close.
but also it had a fantastic infusion of like MCU ness into it. And it's like it wasn't so overbearing. Like there was no Captain America, there was no fucking Iron Man. It's still something that took place in the Marvel universe. Like I fully expect like Blade, Moon Knight to have something to do with this world. Doctor Strange possibly. So like I see how it can tie into the MCU, but I love that it's its own thing.
Mm.
And one of my biggest complaints when I finished it was that, oh man, I wish this would have. I wish this not. No, 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 no. I would have liked if this had a longer runtime.
Oh shit! You caught yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I would have liked if this had a longer runtime, but also if it had a longer runtime, I do feel as if my ass would have been like, man, it should have been shorter. So it would have kept me wanting more. And so I appreciate the fact that it did keep me wanting more. And it went color at the end. So this didn't take place in the 1930s. It does take place in
Mm.
some modern period.
Oh,
Eh,
just is that what you got from it? I didn't really necessarily. It wasn't black and white. They didn't walk around in black and white in real life back in the 50s and 60s. So just because it's in color doesn't
hey, you
necessarily.
weren't there.
That's true. Color was invented in 1971. That's right.
So check that. No, but in my opinion, they put it in black and white to make it seem like, oh wow, this takes place a very long time ago. And so
Yeah.
when it gets to color, it's like, oh, my mistake. This could be 1975.
Spoiler alert. Fast forward like 30 seconds if you don't want to be spoiled for Werewolf by Night. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay. I was so when the monster was man thing, I was like, "Fuck yeah, that is so cool!" I was not expecting that at all. So that's another way that they tied it into the MCU,
Mm-hmm.
like superhero
Mm-hmm.
universe, which was really cool. Really happy about that.
I loved it. I loved it. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Spoilers over for Werewolf by Night. It's not extraordinary. Have you seen that one? This came out in 2019. It's like a horror comedy. It's like in Scotland or Ireland or something like that. A woman can see ghosts, and uh, a guy who's a widow um, tries to get her. She's like she's an exorcist, or she can so he wants her to come exorcise his house from demons or from a particular ghost, and then other shit starts happening, and it's fun. It was a good time. It's
haven't
like
seen
it's
it.
got that
No.
dry British, Scottish, Irish humor sort of thing.
For
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
It's got Will Forte, if you're a fan of Will Forte, but I like the main actress. She did a great job.
Okay. Cool.
Um,
No, I haven't seen it.
okay, and then how about the Deep House?
I saw it. It's okay. Um, I've only seen it once, but I think I would benefit from watching it another time.
Yeah, I think the concept was really interesting, and I
Mm-hmm.
think it kind of lost its way a little bit. Um, so the concept is that these divers go diving to an a house that was built there, and then the valley was flooded, so now it's underground. A lake, it's under a lake, and they go to check it out. And it was interesting. I like the concept. It was a little bit spooky and stuff like that. But a lot of the shit that pissed me off was that nothing was floating in the house.
Okay. See, one of my things is like everything was like not decayed underwater. It's like
Right.
you have paintings on the wall, you have like mahogany tables. It's like that shit would be all kind of chipped.
Yeah.
I was
Like,
like,
and it was funny because I was reading the trivia, and the director was like, "Oh yeah, we could only shoot like in 30 minutes or an hour intervals or whatever. We couldn't keep the set underwater because it would deteriorate." It's like, yeah, and that house has been under the water for fucking decades,
yeah.
and it's still perfectly like the table's still down on the ground, the piano's still down on the ground, like vases are still on a table. Like, how do I look past that? Make be like, oh, it's haunted. Just say something. But it
Yeah.
was so that was a little bit frustrating, but it was fun. It was a fun movie. And then my last two movies I saw here, and then I want to talk about some of yours. The second to last one I saw last night was Hellbender.
Okay, what did you think? Because I love Hellbender.
I fucking loved it. I really, really loved it. Like that mother and daughter duo is fucking amazing. They're so good, and they're really mother and daughter in real life.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, and they actually co-wrote and co-directed the movie.
I love that. I
Yeah,
love that. And this is one movie that has like a bunch of musical numbers that I didn't hate.
exactly. Like I was rocking out with them. I was like headbanging, like yes, Satan. Like no, it was
I,
so much fun. Like I know Hillary watched it with me, and I thought it was Hillary appropriate. It was not Hillary appropriate.
no?
It got it got dark towards the end, especially with some eating of things.
Yeah, okay.
And
Yes, yeah.
so yeah, but
That's witchcraft, baby. You got to eat some stuff. Like,
exactly. But it was a lot of fun. It was, and again, I didn't see a trailer, just went in blind. Um, and it was so much fun. Oh, and also, if I'm not mistaken, so there was three people, writers and directors, right? And two of them were the mother and sister. I'm sorry, mother and daughter combo, and then the third person was their uncle, and
okay.
he was the lost hiker in the very beginning of the movie. So it was like it was a family affair, you know.
Yeah,
Literally on the poster it says an Adams family film because it was a family film. And this was
I
a real
love that.
surprise to me, and it was yeah. I want to look up the soundtrack. Hopefully, it's on Spotify or something because they're like little 2 minute segments. The songs, and it's just a lot of fun. And like this
Right.
was such a great, just a great find. Like I really
Hmm.
this will go into the rotation.
It's like very modern folk horror, but also like when you can show me about like a little bit about the old ways of witchcraft, I'm like all the way in it. Like, yes, like of course you have to eat nature so you can be one with nature and experience things that like your normal body can't. Like, of course you would. And of course, the more, what's the word, hearty your meal is, worms, hearts, people, of course your power becomes more, what's the word,
Potent.
not powerful, potent. Yeah, potent. So I absolutely love that because like to me, and for whatever reason that just makes sense. Like, why wouldn't you have to eat like some powerful shit, like someone's whole fucking motor of their body, their heart, in order to
I like,
gain some powers?
and I like the idea of a witch not being a witch all the time. Like, yes, she's a witch all the time, but she has to fuel up, right? I like that. I like that a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just like
To me,
the
also,
go ahead.
no, go on. Sorry, no, no, no.
I was just saying, I really liked the relationship between the mother and daughter, and I thought it was touching and endearing and kind of beautiful. And then to come find out that they're actually mother and daughter, it's like okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did find it incredibly interesting when we get to the end when we find out what the nature of their relationship is. But there's definitely a cycle there that I really love, and that's like that can be mirrored in any relationship with like anybody and their parent or guardian or even somebody that they love. Like there's going to be times where I love you more than you love me, and
Mhm.
like there's going to be times where that's the opposite. So I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and it's also like a really small movie too, like really self-contained, and you know, not everything need like there's very not a lot of actors or characters in it.
Hmm.
Just really beautiful. Just it was great. I definitely recommend it. And then the last one, the one I just saw today, was the Spirit Halloween movie.
Oh, how was that?
It
Too
was
childish?
yeah, it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. It was an hour and 20 minute commercial, but a very excellently done commercial. Right?
Okay.
It's like the best commercial you've ever seen. Um, but it was like a Stranger Things, like YA, you know, fun little movie. Um,
Hmm.
I actually liked it better than Hocus Pocus 2. Uh, it's just because here's the thing. I came in with
I have to
no
take off my
expectation.
I have to take off my glasses. I don't even want to look at you right
Hey,
now.
first thing, there's nobody singing. So right off the bat, I'm good. Um, it's just I came in with no expectations and got an okay movie. Whereas with Hocus Pocus 2, it's been built up and I was like, oh, it's going to be a great movie and whatever. Um, I also have trash opinions, so don't listen to me. But yeah, Spirit Halloween's fine. I think I gave it 2.5 stars. It was fine. It was just, um, I spent $5 on it, which I'm like, why did I
Yeah.
spend $5 to rent this? But it's part of the challenge to watch these new movies, and
Hmm.
it's just an interesting concept. It's like a haunted spirit Halloween, which is cool. Like, what if you've every year we wait for August to come around for the Spirit Halloween to start opening up, And this
Right.
isn't a spoiler. This happens within the first literally a minute. But what's funny is that Christopher Lloyd, who plays fucking from Back to the Future, he
Doc
plays this
Brown.
Doc Brown. Yeah, he's this evil like landlord person, and he's kicking this woman and her child off of this land so that they can build something, right? And it's funny because that's literally what Spirit Halloween does is they go into these places and they just become something else,
Like
So
they
yeah,
see
yeah.
a sign that says liquidation sale, and they're like, "Okay, so you're gonna be a Spirit Halloween now, right? Okay."
Yeah.
Birdman hand rub.
It's like I'm sure there's gonna be some memes. I should probably make this meme of like the sewer where Michael Myers lives. Now that he's well, if you've seen the movie, you know what happens. They're gonna put up a Spirit Halloween there on that sewer. But yeah, it's fine. Just fine movie. That's like a gateway horror, for little kids. They can watch it.
Yes. Hmm.
But I actually kind of went crazy, and I put like 70 movies on my list. So I'm not going to get to all of them. I got still a bunch that I want to see before Halloween, before October 31st. But even afterwards, like some of the bigger ones that I still want to see is Bodies, 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 Fresh,
Okay.
They, Them, Lamb, Mother. I've never seen Mother. Creep 2, Brightburn.
Oh,
Have you seen that one?
I love Brightburn.
Okay.
It's literally what you think it is. Evil Superman. That's what it is.
Okay. All right. I might watch that tomorrow then. And then some of the newer movies that are coming out this year, like Piggy, Significant Other, Grim Cuddy. These haven't come out yet.
Oh, I saw Grim Cuddy today. Actually,
Like like saw the movie or you saw like a
yeah.
trailer? Oh shit.
No, I
Okay.
watched it today. Yeah.
What'd you think?
Um, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was pretty. It was.
I have no
It was a.
idea. I don't even know what it's about. Like I just saw it on a list and I was like, I'll check it out.
I will just. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I will just say. Okay, so are you aware of Slender Man?
Yes. I am
It's like
aware. I didn't see the movie. There's a movie, right? I didn't see the movie.
mm, uh, bullshit,
Okay.
garbage. We're not talking about that. But like kind of like the whole creepy pasta element of Slender Man.
Okay.
That's Grim Cuddy. And the parents get a hold of this. Oh, Grim Cuddy. Grim Cuddy is making kids do wild shit. We got to take care of. We got to take our kids' phones and all that kind of shit. So we get to see the parents really react to like a creepy pasta in ways that they shouldn't be reacting, and it's a really cool story. I think it's a cool story.
Was
Maybe
it?
towards the
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
no. I was gonna say maybe towards the end you're gonna be like, oh brother, I saw that coming. But to me it's a fun ride. It's I think I personally love these modern movies like The Bye Bye Man, this movie, which has an element of like creepy pasta into it.
That's another one I should add the Bye Bye Man because that's I think that's on HBO and I've heard good things about that one.
You know what's crazy? I've heard nothing but bad things, but I
Really?
loved it. It had a great vibe. Like I said, I love a creepy pasta element, so like I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, maybe it's not the one I was thinking of. There was the Long Man. There's another one on HBO that I can't think of, but regardless. So going back a little bit, Grim Cuddy, is it that thing that people were doing on YouTube or TikTok where it's like this really creepy face and it was
Oh,
causing
like Momo.
Momo? Is that what Grim
Mm,
Cuddy is?
I think Grim Cuddy is inspired by Momo.
Okay, okay. All right, that makes sense
And
then.
then there's just a whole like there's a satanic panic sort of element to it where it's like, oh my gosh, you have Grim Cuddy on your phone? That means you're gonna fuck a goat. And like, there's that total panic that parents have when they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
So like there's a bunch of that. but I think it was a good story.
Where'd you check it out on?
It's on Hulu.
Fucking Hulu, man.
There we go. They're
Yeah,
trying. They're trying to get their $7.
yeah. I mean, better than Netflix. I haven't fucking used Netflix for anything so far. I don't think. Yeah. Matriarch is coming out on Hulu. Might already be out. The VHS 99. I think that came out today. I want to check that out. The other VHS 94. Um,
Yeah, VHS 99. I also watched that today.
oh shit. Okay, dude. You're. I'm inspired by you, Anthony. I'm
Listen,
inspired by
I
you.
woke up at 5 a.m. and I couldn't go back. No, I woke up at 4 a.m. and I couldn't go back to sleep. So at like 5 a.m., I'm like, whatever, let me just bring my TV into my bedroom. And then I went to Shutter. I'm like, oh, okay, this movie's out. I'll go ahead and watch it. Spoiler, non spoiler, I didn't like it. It wasn't for me.
VHS
It's the
99
least,
was all right.
yeah, it's
Mm.
the least fun I've had out of all the VHS movies.
See, I
It's
only
like,
saw the first one, and I haven't kept up with the series. Maybe I saw the second one. I don't recall, but like 94, I haven't seen. 99 just came out. So, but so you're saying this is the least amount of fun you've had?
yeah.
Mm.
Hopefully this doesn't spoil it, but like there's two stories that take way too fucking long to get started, and the payoff is not fucking worth it.
Mm.
In the very first story, there's way too much grainy, quote unquote VHS aesthetic, which has like the visual quality is just not as great. But it's
Mm.
like, hey, in the first movie, they were also watching videotapes, and the quality was fine.
Yeah.
So like you expect me to watch this 99 movie on a videotape and just expect me to believe that the quality is just going to be shitty because it's 99. I really didn't appreciate that. It does get better as the movie goes on, but like the first story I didn't care for. One of the stories is far too reminiscent of a Goosebumps story. I'm not going to get into it, but it's far too much. And one of the stories involving a ritual is far too similar to a story that involves a ritual and summoning a demon in two of the previous VHS. I'm like, I'm so what's the one that came out? 99 came out today, right? What was the one
Mm.
before that? 98
94.
or 6?
94.
94? Okay, so then 96 already got greenlit before 99 even came out, and I'm like, why did you greenlight 96 when like 99 was just like mid?
Uh-huh.
It's like to me it wasn't fun. It's a husk of its former self, and I literally, like, I'm looking on Twitter, people are literally blowing their loads over this movie, and I'm like, okay, like,
Oh yeah, like
good for
Terrifier,
you.
huh? How's it feel? How's it feel? How about now?
Listen, listen, I all I say is I like
Yeah.
Terrifier.
Okay. Well, yeah, I haven't, like I said, I haven't. Do they, are they the same? I know it's an anthology. They're anthologies, right? But like, is it the same directors from from each movie, or is it different directors?
They're different, yeah, they're different
Okay.
directors.
And then there's Run, Sweetheart, Run. That's still coming out. I want to see that. Wendell and Wild. Really want to see that. There's still just a bunch of movies that I haven't seen on my list that I'm going to be seeing. How about you? We haven't talked about yours. What's some of the
Mhm.
ones that you've seen?
So, like, as I mentioned, today I watched VHS 99, and what was the other one we talked about?
Grim Cuddy.
Grim Cuddy. I liked Grim Cuddy. VHS 99 fell short for me. Yesterday I watched Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I enjoyed it. It's very millennial Clue. It's that's
Okay.
that's what it is. It's millennial Clue, and I had a good time. It was fun. I love the atmosphere. Hopefully, I still have enough time to watch it again because it's fun. I liked it.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Oh, you had to rent
what
it?
else? Yes, I rented it. And then another movie. So I did also watch Deadstream. That's on Shutter. I did not care for it, and I think it's because this main character perfectly embodies the kind of content creator that I hate watching. Just not self-aware. Um, the kind of person who does something racist and apologizes just so they don't seem racist anymore, but ultimately doesn't understand why they're apologizing and why what they said is racist. And so it's just like, I don't fucking like you.
What do you mean? I'm
And
an
also
ally.
like, yeah, exactly. And also, I just hate those content creators who are like, "What's up, guys? I want to talk to you about what I'm going to do today, and we're going to go to this haunted house, and I don't think it's that haunted, but you know what? We're going to give it a chance anyway because fuck what everyone else says." It's like, bitch, you're shitting on hundreds of years of history. What the fuck knowledge do you have? So yeah, Deadstream, it definitely wasn't for me. Um, Also, another thing that I watched was Midnight Club. Also, not for me.
Anthony had an episode from his podcast called "Fuck You Hexed."
Fuck you, Hexed.
Nice, and he all on the Midnight Club. So if you've seen it, or if you haven't seen it, don't care about spoilers. Just check out his episode on his excellent podcast, "Fuck You Hexed."
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I did talk about that because I've
And
not,
by the way,
I've,
sorry to interrupt you. I
no, you're
haven't
fine.
eaten, so I'm eating applesauce while Anthony's telling us about the Midnight Club. So go ahead.
And honestly, let me tell you guys, he just pulled his applesauce out of nowhere. So, so he just started eating applesauce, and I'm like, what?
I, Anthony, Jesus Christ, I sure did, didn't I?
He
Fuck.
went out of frame for 1 second and came back with applesauce in a bowl, mind you, not out of like any kind of jar that applesauce comes in. He just had a bowl of applesauce.
Fucking hell. I bumped into the mic there. Jesus Christ. I sure did. I sure did. Here's my I have a little fridge next to me and I keep a little bit of apple, a little bit. A
He
big
has
ass
a whole thing of applesauce.
fucking hell, you got me. Yeah, that's true. And here it's not even a bowl. It's a plate. It's a plate.
Oh, it's a deep plate.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, you got me. Okay. Let me breathe
That
again.
is so funny. Okay, so let me see. What else have I watched? Where's my list? My list. I'm pulling up my list right now. So I watched Halloween 4. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I haven't seen Halloween 4 before. That was a pretty fun movie. Um, the thing about me, I don't like kids in these horror movies. Jason did it. Halloween did it. Freddy did it with like New Nightmare. And all of these kids in these movies are primed to be the person who's going to replace the killers that we know. And I don't like it. So, like, I don't care if anybody thinks that these movies are good. I don't like it. To me, it's like, it's just marketing. You're just trying to make the longevity of like these movies
Yeah.
last longer. Like, oh, let's get a kid involved and they'll
It's
be
like
Freddy for 50 years.
it's called like in like television, it's called like jumping the shark. Have you heard that
You think
phrase?
so?
Um have you heard that phrase jumping the shark?
Oh, I have. It's popularized from what's that show? The Fonz. Happy Days.
Happy days,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah,
When they
I feel
literally jumped the shark.
yeah. That's what I feel like this is. It's like whenever they add a kid to a movie or whatever, it's like, okay, they're jumping the shark here.
Mm.
Like, I don't know. I liked her in part four, the little girl. Part five, I don't know what it is about sequels in this franchise, but they like to minimize their female characters in the second movie. Like Halloween was great. Halloween 2, they minimized Jamie Lee Curtis's role. Part 4,
Okay. Yeah.
the little
Yeah.
girl, Danielle Harris, was great in it. She was talking, having a good time. And then in the next one, she's silent, mute. She can't talk. And in
Catatonic.
2018, yeah, in Halloween 2018, she's amazing in it. And then Halloween Kills, she's hemmed up
Hospital.
in the hospital. And then again in Ends, she doesn't have a lot. So I don't know what it is. It's like, but anyway, sorry. I like four.
No, yeah. No, totally valid. Totally valid. And so something else that I've been watching, it's a show, it's not so much a movie. I've been watching the new show based off of Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire book. So
Mm.
there is a show, Interview with the Vampire. It's only 4 episodes that are out right now, but to me, it's way better than the movie. I don't think I'm going to read the book because there's a lot of stuff in there that I don't care to read, that I really don't need to know. And quite honestly, in the movie and the book, the gay subtext was just like subtext, where as opposed to the show where like no, it's just text. Like they're fruity out here. They're gay.
Mm,
And this show for me personally is actually one of the reasons why I don't think I'm burnt out on horror, because they provide kills, gore, sex, magic, and I'm literally yearning for what's going to happen next. Like I can't wait to see what I'm going to do next. Now this show, it involves a toxic relationship amongst immortals, and what happens when they don't like each other, and when one is at odds with what they are with their own nature as a killer. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. It's great storytelling, and the main character is black. It starts off in 1920s Louisiana, so you get to see the dynamics between this white vampire who creates a black vampire, and just like supposedly they're equals, but if you know, you get to see exactly how like the black vampire doesn't get to stand as an equal. Like there's one scene in particular where the white vampire Lestat and the black vampire Louis, they go to an opera, and in order to not be, what's the word, looked at funny by anybody, the black vampire Louis has to walk behind the vampire Lestat to kind of show his station, that like they're not equals, they're not on the same ground, like oh that's probably his butler or something like that. And these are only like, these nuances aren't discussed, these are only things that you can understand are a thing if you're like in that situation, if you have brown skin. It's like there's a reason why the black vampire, who is more powerful than any human in the room, holds the door open for the white vampires, like to keep up appearances. And
mm.
like there's a lot of white people on YouTube who are like discussing this show, and it's like you're not getting any of the nuance. And it's like, what are you doing here? Like you're the ones who are going to be sent the PR packages, you're the ones who are going to be sent the promos and the screeners, but it's like you don't even understand what you're watching. And it's like, oh, it must be nice to have such a little brain. You don't got to think about stuff. Like, good for you. And
Yeah.
so that's one of the things that's really been keeping a lot of fuel in my tank, is watching this show every week, because we're living in a world where like a season of a TV show is a movie. It's 10 hours, super detailed, giving you shit that you didn't even know that you needed to know. And so like it's a movie. It's a better retelling of the movie. It's
Yeah, like
yeah, it's fantastic.
when done right, like a TV series can be better than a movie because it has the
Mhm.
time to explore other things that like movies just don't have time to do. Like already you have to have a reason to have a 2 hour long movie. And
Mhm.
if your movie is 2 hour or over 2 hours, it's gonna be dead. Nobody's gonna watch that fucking movie, you know. Um
Mhm.
so yeah, whereas with TV shows they can spread it out a little bit. And like yeah, I like Midnight Mass from last year. That was great. I'm not the biggest Flanagan fan. I don't choke on his cock for any. I haven't seen his other stuff, but I like this one. It was cool, and I haven't seen the one you were talking about so far yet. So
Yeah. So there's another thing. One of the things that I saw up until recently was Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Had we not, we're going to talk about it for the podcast at some point, but had we not, this movie would have just always passed me by. Um, just because I don't know if you know this, but like movies like Mommy Dearest and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, they're incredibly popular amongst gay men, especially like I'm 31, like 45 and up, white gay men, like Whatever Happened to Baby Jane and Mommy Dearest, total fucking amazing entries into horror and drama. And so I was very appreciative that I got to see Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, because it is a great movie. And like, I love some old Hollywood glamour, but they just don't do it like that anymore. Like these women wearing fur to like to go to bed, and like these were the like some of the last movie stars,
Mhm.
and shit gets crazy. Like
Yeah,
with
shit's
when it
getting
comes to
dirty. Yeah.
when it comes to Baby Jane, like there you in my opinion, I feel like there is someone who noticed a red flag like at every interaction they had with her, and she was just like, well, what you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we like feel for everyone else. It's like, this bitch is nuts.
Yeah, we're gonna
uh
be talking about that. That's gonna be a future episode. But whatever happened to Baby Jane is a great, great movie. You know what's funny? I haven't seen um,
Mommy Dearest,
Mommy Dearest. I haven't seen it, but I know the connection of
Joan Crawford and Faye
Joan.
Dunaway.
Yeah, Joan Crawford being. Isn't it made off? She. It was based off of a book about her, right? About Joan Crawford.
Yes.
She's the terrible mom in that movie.
Yes. Joan Crawford is Mommy Dearest. And yes.
Who plays her in that movie? Is that Faye
Faye
Dunaway? Is that
Dunaway.
yeah? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Which she was in what is the movie that you talked about?
Eyes of Laura
Not
Mars.
Serial Mom. Yes, okay, there we go. There we go. Eyes of Laura
Yeah.
Mars.
Okay. I need to see this movie because now that we've seen and we're going to be talking about whatever happened to Baby Jane, I need to see Mommy Dearest. It's not a horror movie though, right? It's a drama.
It's just camp.
Just
It's
can't.
all camp. Horror if you have a parent that's like, oh damn, that's how my mom was. Like it's horror in that sense, but it's like nobody had a rich mom who like showered them and didn't shower them with gifts.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I think. Oh, you know what? One show that my wife and I have gotten back into is What We Do in the Shadows, and I
Yes.
told you about this. We're watching the last season, and this isn't a spoiler alert either. This is a character that shows up about like 2 or 3 episodes in, is a Jin, right? And it's so fucking funny because as soon as I saw this Jin character show up, I was like, fucking Anthony would love this. The way they're acting, the way they have to request their wishes, they have the way they have to put their wishes is like exactly what Anthony lives for.
Absolutely. And the Jin has like some cool glasses, wears a suit, has
Mm.
like nice curly hair. And like he'll ask you, like, hey, are you sure? Or do you want to word that differently? Which is like, I wouldn't do that shit.
That's very nice of him.
But yeah. And so like he's just like he'll jot down your wish, like, okay, so you word it like this, like this, like this. Or like he does more of a service than I would ever when it comes to granting wishes.
Yeah. At one point, a character is like, of course, one of the first things men do is they like ask for a bigger dick.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have to go through all the guidelines. He's talking with Guillermo about like, oh, like we got to make sure it's this and this. And then at the very end, he was like, wait a minute, don't make me. He wanted to have the biggest dick in the world or something like that. And then they're like, don't make everybody else's dick smaller to make my dick bigger. And then the Jin was like, that's a good point. I was going to. You got me on that one. So funny. I really, really enjoying that character. He's handsome as hell too. Like he said, he's
Right.
got a
Oh
great
yeah.
outfit. Yeah, I really like it. I like that they didn't go a problematic way with it.
No weird Indian accent that did not need to be there.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah. I
that
think
movie with Idris Elba, 3,000 Years of Longing? That movie's weird.
I wanted to see that because I love Idris Elba, but it looked like the trailer looked weird. And I was like, it's probably gonna be a mess.
You're
You
not
saw
missing
it?
out. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very weird. It's not very weird. I don't like it. It's
Was he doing an accent? Is that why? Or
no, it's just very it's very big hulking black man comes to solve a white woman's problems, and it's like
why would they get, is it Emma, whatever her name is, like
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton? Okay, well, fuck Tilda Swinton. I don't like her. She needs to like,
She doesn't care.
yeah, she'll take whatever. Like she plays Asians. Like fuck her. Like
Mm,
they could have gotten a black actress in that, and it would have taken away the problem for me immediately. That's
Mm-hmm.
literally why I didn't watch it. I love Idris Elba, and I want to see the stuff he's in. When I saw the trailer, I'm like, that seems problematic, and even if it isn't, it's going to feel like it is.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I'm like, I don't want to watch it. All I had to do was get a black actress in there, and it would have been, it would have fixed the issue. Like, do you need Tilda Swinton in it? No, like you don't. Like, she's gonna go do another movie, like whatever.
Like she's not free. Like she can be booked as like
Right. She's not gonna have any
if she
problem getting
wants.
another job.
Exactly. That's that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like she has no problem getting work. Like she won't for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
And
She
so yeah,
could.
there's that. Like it's like weird.
Yeah.
Not for me.
But anything else? Any other movies you wanted to talk about, or any other TV shows?
So I saw two more movies. So there's another movie that I saw. It came out very recently on Shudder called She Will. To me, this is a perfect double feature with Hellbender because it does involve a woman who's like communing with nature, who is becoming a part of nature. And one could say it's witchcraft. However, we don't really know because it's not like, well, I don't really know because it's not told to me that, oh, she's a witch. I just see it as this older woman who's communing with nature and becoming better for it. But to me it's a perfect double feature with Hellbender. It definitely involves nature, it involves getting revenge, it involves, like not letting people fuck with you, and I really enjoyed that a lot. And the other movie,
Sorry, Anthony. Real quick, what was that one called?
She Will
She
on
Will.
Shudder. Mhm.
Okay, cool. And that came out last year. Okay, I'm gonna check that out.
Oh, last year? Okay, yeah.
Added it to my list.
And then there is Revealer on Shutter. It takes place in the 80s. It's like a post-apocalyptic story. It definitely involves religion. However, it's like a religious girl and a stripper are forced to stay together in like one confined space as they try to figure out how they want to survive the apocalypse together. And it's just like a really fun story about how like people who claim to be like super religious or pious just like aren't always what they show you. They're not always that. And meanwhile, the people who they try to like shit talk for being a whore or not religious, or how like sometimes those people are like some of the best people you'll ever meet in your life.
Hmm.
And so like that's really fun. Revealer on Shutter. Then let's see. Oh wait. Oh, and the last thing I started watching Tragedy Girls, which is on Shutter, and I didn't finish it because we all know that there's a particular brand of woman who is like too into true crime, so much so that it's like, oh, I don't even want to hear you talk about this crime because you're getting like too much enjoyment out of it, and like this does something for you, and I don't want to be a part of that. And so like I was getting that vibe from these girls,
Mm.
and I was like, sorry girls, I don't care. I have fun with your true crime, but like you're literally getting too much enjoyment off of it. I'm gonna see what else is going on. But yeah, those are some of the movies that I've watched this month that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, Tragedy Girls was. I saw it, and what did I? I think I gave it. Oh wow, I gave it a 3.5 stars. But I think it was fine. But I completely understand what you're saying. Like, the people who like this and true crime and are like how you're saying, they're probably gonna dress up as like Jeffrey Dahmer for Halloween or something like that.
Exactly.
Um,
Ted Bundy, Hannibal Lecter, like,
yeah.
hmm
Um, yeah. I don't know. I must have just been having a. Just must have been having a good day that day. You know what it is? I think I really like that actress, Alex Ship or Alexandra Ship. She was the not the blonde girl. I think she was a black girl in the movie. Yeah, I don't remember how many. There's only two, right? The Tragedy Girls are two girls.
yeah. Oh yeah, Alexandra Ship. You're right.
Yeah. I like her. I
Yeah.
like
What else
her.
is she in?
She was in Deadpool
No.
2, Love Simon. She was in X-Men Apocalypse. I don't know what
Okay.
exactly
Oh, she was Storm. Okay.
in X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, she was
Oh,
Storm.
I never saw it. Yeah, I see it now. That movie, man, I was so disappointed that movie was supposed to do numbers and did not do numbers. because
Shit.
I have the first comic book nerd thing right here. I had the first appearance of some of the characters that came out in this movie. I was like, yeah, this movie's gonna do numbers, and the comic book's gonna go crazy, and did not. But
Mm-mm.
but yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying about Chucky. I could see where you were just, you know, that you really don't like him. You don't abide by a bad movie. You just stop watching it.
Oh no, no.
You have no
Uh,
problems not finishing a movie.
if I'll give every movie 30 minutes, and if you can't give me a single reason to stay, I'm like, well, if I miss out, I miss out. That's no problem. There are literally thousands of other movies out there that I will find like that I will like.
So did you, if we, for my 70s confessional, first movie we watched was the John Waters film Multiple Maniacs.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't have to watch the movie for that, would you have stopped within half an hour?
No,
No? Okay.
because it starts off with like the people in the what's the word
In like the
the the
carnival or
the carnival of whatever. It starts off with them doing a bunch of weird shit, and like the show hasn't started yet. And so, if I would have seen them doing all this weird shit, and then the show starts, I would have been like, "Well, the show hasn't even started yet. Okay, now I need to see what else you're gonna do. Like, you
okay.
were doing all this weird shit on your own time. Like that was fun for you. Now you're clocking in, and you're doing this extra shit. I definitely would have stayed.
Which one of the 10 movies we did for my 70s confessional would you have stopped watching after half an hour if you didn't have to? I
Hills Have Eyes.
I was about to say the hills have eyes. Yes. Okay.
Hills Have Eyes. Like, no.
Is that the only one?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I would have seen all the way through. Yeah, no, I would have because I like the remake, so I wanted to see where that came from.
Okay. I was just curious about that. What are you excited for still? Like it's October 20th. We still have 11 days to go. What are you excited for still to watch?
Barbarian on HBO Max.
Yes.
I don't know what else is coming out.
I know you saw the Rob Zombie one, the
The
Monsters.
Munsters.
You saw that, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, it was trash.
Okay. All right. I just sound bite. I just needed it for the Twitter
Oh
post.
yeah,
Okay,
waste of
good.
my fucking time.
All
I
right.
rented that shit for $5, and you know what happened the next day? It was on Netflix. I wasted my fucking money.
To be fair, you would have wasted your money if you saw it for free.
Okay, and I don't even pay for my Netflix, so
But I know we still got that Wendell.
oh, the Jordan Peele movie, right?
Yeah,
The stop motion.
Henry Selick is the stop motion director.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's Keegan Michael Key and Jordan Peele coming together again. I'm really excited for that one. What else? Sorry, I've been interrupting you. What anything else that you're still looking forward to?
No, I don't remember what else is coming out, but I do want to watch Pearl because I haven't seen it yet. So once it's available to rent for $5, I will be watching it.
Yeah, they're fucking tripping with the $20 rental shit. It's like
like
it's not happening.
I can wait, or I'll go to the theaters for $10. Like that's fine.
I guess that was the show. Thanks for joining us. We just wanted to go through some of the movies we've been watching this holiday season, this Halloween season. I've been having fun. Like I haven't liked all the movies I've been watching, but I've really been enjoying watching newer movies. Like around the mid 2000s, I kind of like went underground during the torture porn era. I kind of went underground. It wasn't for me, and I can kind of would bring my head back up a little bit. You know, like when A24 started doing the movies, like the Vivitch came out, all this sort of stuff. Like, and here and there, like I saw little bits of the newer movies, but like I wasn't like focused on newer movies. My focus was on older movies that I knew I liked. So this year has been really fun to watch these newer movies, and that's because of you, Anthony. So thank you very much. I'm looking forward to continue. I'm always going to be watching my older movies as like that's my bread and butter. That's what I love. But I'm going to be trying to watch newer movies as they come out. And you do have to support the movies, like right, like by renting, by going to the movies, all that sort of stuff. Because if you don't, then we don't get any more, right?
Right.
And this has been a fucking banner year for horror movies, like new horror movies.
And this month alone has been so juicy.
So fucking much, like you can't keep up with it. Like it's so fucking much.
What do we got? Real quick, once again, we got Hellraiser, Prey, Fresh. Well, that didn't come out this month. Midnight Club, Bodies, 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 available on VOD.
Pearl,
Pearl,
My Best Friend's
nope.
Exorcism,
My Best Friend's Exorcism.
Smile. We got Sissy came out. Halloween Ends came out.
Mm-hmm.
Just a shit ton of movies that came out. Like, and there's still more to come. Like, Hocus Pocus 2 came out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my Werewolf by Night, Grim Cuddy, that VHS 99, Wendell Wild. Like, just so much. It just in 1 month. It's
Mm-hmm.
fucking an embarrassment of riches, but I love it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Right, please. Like, who said it has to be just October? What the fuck? Like,
Right, exactly.
give us some Thanksgiving horror. Give us some fucking September where nothing's going on horror. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Um, all right. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for joining me on this. It's been so much fun as always. It, I like talking horror movies with you. I like just going through the horror movies like we've done before. It's always a fun time. If you can let everybody know how they can follow you, where they can listen to your podcast, which they need to be doing, all that stuff, while I
for
eat
sure.
my applesauce.
That fucking applesauce. Yeah, so I'm most active on Twitter. My at is Anthony JeromeM, AnthonyJeromm. My podcast is called Fuck You Hexed. That is on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. That's where it's at right now. I do plan on putting it other places in the future. Um, my podcast comes out like Sundays or Mondays or Tuesdays, sometimes even weekly. So if you want to listen to it, I talk about the shit that I find spooky, specific movies, folk tales, instances that I've had to experience in my life. And sometimes I have Miguel on as a guest because he's a fantastic person to volley ideas off of and conversation points off of. So we talk, we have a good time. Um, if I'm sober, it's Anthony. If I'm drunk, it's Jerome who's hosting. So yeah, fuck you, Hexed. Anthony JeromeM on Twitter. Half Black Phillip if you can't find me any other way. But yeah, Miguel.
And we actually have a Patreon only show called so we had my 70s confessional, and now the Patreon show is my 2K confessional, where Anthony is walking me through all the mid 2000 movies that I missed because I just wasn't feeling them around that time. So that comes out once a month. It's on the Patreon, patreon.com/my horror confessional. If you'd like to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at MHCPod, like My Horror Confessional. You can follow me on Instagram at My Horror Confessional. If you'd like to email the show, you can email me at myhorrorconfessional@gmail.com. The music for the show was done by my friend Captain Mikey. You can follow him on Instagram at Captain_Mikey_art. The music for the show was done by Taylor Fox. You can follow her on Instagram at the Taylor Fox. That's the show. Yo. Okay. Um, we have a new guest who just arrived on the show. It's the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Satan.
Hello, hello, hello. I was offered a little bit more time than this, but you know what? I had a prior engagement, but I just came to say hello, drop in. Just,
Looking good. Looking good. Our guest host has been replaced by Satan himself. Satan and he's looking really good. That looks great.
You know, the Morning Star, the most unclean, Beelzebub. I'm here. We're
Lucifer.
having a good time. Just came to say hello. Hope things are going over well at the confessional.
They're going great. They're going great.
I love a confessional.
Satan, take us out.
Everybody, have a good night. I know I will. And I hope you enjoy the remaining time you have left on Earth. Bye.